So I have something. Hey guys, can you imagine who that is? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? I know, I deserve it. Can you say hi? Hi! Blow him a kiss. Mwah. Blow a kiss. Oh, you want to type? Mwah. Well, today I wanted to talk to you guys about my third blog idea. So I had a really interesting experience this week. Somebody invited me to, little hands, hi. Somebody invited me to, well, you know what, before I get started, let me let you guys meet somebody else. Here. Oh, this is Hero. Can you say hi, Hero? No licks in the face. No licks in the face. No licks in the face. No. Oh, he wants to lick so bad. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. Yes, you are. He's such a good boy. That's our Hero, man. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, aren't you? Don't lick. Yucky. Good boy. Alright, go play. So anyway, okay. So this week, a friend of mine invited me to go to a little get-together in Murfreesboro at Middle Tennessee Christian School. And it was, the author of a book was coming, and he was going to sign the book, and he was going to talk and everything like that. And so I thought, oh, how fun. And I didn't really know too much about it, but I really wanted to go because I hadn't seen this friend in a while. We were always trying to get together and hang out. We just never could make it work. So I decided to go, and this was Tuesday morning. And little did I know what a life-changing experience it was going to be for me. So I wanted to share that with you guys and talk a little bit about it because it was pretty amazing. So this is the book, Frederick, and it's amazing. I haven't got to read the book yet, but Frederick is a real person and he's amazing. And so just a little synopsis of what I learned this week. Frederick is from Rwanda, and back in the 90s, there was a mass genocide in Rwanda. I went to kindergarten in '92, so I don't really remember much about it. I was pretty young. So here comes Christian. We'll get to say hi to him too. So while this mass genocide was going on in Rwanda, Frederick was a victim of some of this guerrilla warfare, and so I won't go into all the details, but through some circumstances and events, he lost both of his hands, and he spent a year in the hospital trying to recover. And so Christian, can you turn the light on? Stinker. And we're back. We got the lights back on. So Frederick spent a year in the hospital trying to recover, and when he got out of the hospital, his family didn't know where he was. He had no way to support himself, no way to get food to eat because he couldn't work. And so Frederick decided that he was going to find something that he could do. And Frederick learned how to paint and draw. Very, very good. Much better than I can do without hands. So I wanted to show you guys just a picture of Frederick. Here's a good one. And I'm also going to put some pictures that I took on Tuesday in here too, so you can see those now. So Frederick does not have hands. Both of them were violently cut off. And so what he did was he made the best of a bad situation. He learned how to paint, and he learned how to make a living doing that. And what he's done now in Rwanda is he's opened a community center where he teaches other people, especially kids with disabilities, how to do trades that they can make a living on and support their families with one day. And when I met him, one of the things that he said over and over and over was, you just don't say can't. He said, you always say, I can. And he was just an amazing, amazing guy and so wonderful. I would love to have been able to just sit and talk with him even more than we did. But that's not even really the biggest part I wanted to talk to you guys about. What I wanted to share with you guys was my experiences with Chandler while I was there. I left Christian with my dad because I couldn't take both of them, and so I decided to bring Chandler with me. And so Frederick asked if he could hold Chandler, and of course, yeah, sure, you can do that. I was excited, and I was going to get a picture. And so this is what happened when Frederick held Chandler. So as you can see, Chandler was not excited. Chandler was actually scared of Frederick, and he kept staring at Frederick's arms where hands should have been. And Chandler's 16 months old. I didn't really think Chandler would even notice. And Chandler's also been around people with disabilities his whole life, not just his brother. We've spent so much time at therapy services with kids in wheelchairs and kids with walkers and kids with AFOs and kids with autism and just a variety of disability. And we've also spent time with other adults with disabilities. So I really didn't even think that it was going to be an issue. And Chandler was scared of Frederick, and he tried several times to entice Chandler to come to him and to be friendly with him. He gave Chandler a little stuffed toy, which was really adorable and sweet of him, and Chandler loves the toy, but he still wouldn't come to Frederick, and he still wouldn't you know, be friendly with him. We tried to get him to high-five him, and Chandler would kind of cry. And it broke my heart for Frederick, because Frederick obviously loves kids. He's just the sweetest, sweetest guy, and he was just like drawn to all the kids that were there. He was wanting to talk to the kids more, and he was wanting to share with them, and you could definitely tell he just had a connection with children. And so it was sad for me to watch Chandler be scared of him. But what it did for me was it opened up a really, really big door for me. So we're always the ones who kids are saying things to their parents while we walk by. That kid's a monster. I've heard stuff like that. Or, Mom, is that kid a zombie? We've heard things like that. Or we've had kids who run up and they see Christian and they dart the other way to their moms. And stuff like that hurts my feelings for Christian, but I do understand that they're little. And that's okay. But that's kind of always the side of the aisle that we've been on. And so the other day I was on the other side of the aisle. I was on the side where my kid was the one that was running away from somebody who had a disability. And it broke my heart. And I don't want my kids to be that kid. And I know that Chandler's still little and he doesn't understand yet. And as he grows up, I can explain it to him more and we can work on those things. But just being on the other side of the aisle gave me a huge perspective about what it's like to be that parent whose kid is doing something that is embarrassing when it comes to people with disabilities. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that day and about what I kind of brought away from that, being where I come from, always being the one whose kid is the target of those things. I wanted to give you guys some of my opinions on like when your kids do embarrassing things or when your kids say embarrassing things around people with disabilities, because they do. And it's embarrassing. And so I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that. So a couple of experiences that I've had. We were in a doctor's office one time and a little girl pointed at Christian and said, "Mommy, look," which happens a lot. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing if the person doesn't have a disability. It's embarrassing in any form or fashion when your kids point at somebody and point something out about them that's different. I've heard people who said that their kids pointed out at somebody and called them fat, or, just anything like that. And it's so embarrassing. It really is. But specifically when it's a disability, it's definitely embarrassing. And so this particular situation, the mom grabbed her daughter by the arm, and they were heading out the door, and she jerked her outside, and I forget now what she was saying. It's been so long ago, but she was angry with her daughter. And although it didn't bother me that she had pointed at Christian and said, "Mommy, look," because, we get looks. We're going to get looks. It embarrassed the mom, and I understand that. But what I wanted to say about that was, please don't punish your children for trying to interact with or ask questions about somebody with a disability. Please don't teach your children that it's wrong to go up to people with disabilities and talk to them. Even if they say something embarrassing, I think it would be better for a kid to come up and say something embarrassing than to avoid Christian altogether. When you punish them for asking questions, it teaches them that they should avoid people like Christian and avoid people with disabilities because they get in trouble. Those are bad things. Those are things we don't talk about. And in this day and age, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's sit down and let's talk about, why is this person in a wheelchair? Why is this little boy blind? Why does this little boy look so much different than you? Let's talk about it. And kids really don't need complicated answers most of the time, I have found. Most of the time, if a little kid comes and asks me, about Christian, usually all I ever tell them is, God made him different than he made you, and that's okay. And they'll, they're kind of, a lot of times they're really concerned, like, is he okay? And I'll have to reiterate a few times, he's okay, I promise, he's okay. See, look, he's laughing, he's playing. And I try to make a connection. They'll have like a character on their shirt. Oh, Christian loves Buzz Lightyear, or, and stuff like that. And that's really sometimes all it takes for these kids to make that connection. And of course there are different, situations, and so it happens. Another situation that I have encountered is we were walking out of a store one day, and a little boy and his mom were walking the opposite direction, and I heard the little boy say, "Mom, is that little boy a zombie?" And the little boy, he was asking a question that he did not know the answer to. And his mom hushed him, and she was like, "Shh, don't talk," and I don't know if she knew if I heard it or not, but it doesn't hurt my feelings that little kids say things like that. It kind of hurts my feelings that Christian will one day have to hear those things, and he'll know what people are saying, which is why, this is why I'm doing this blog right now. But it does not hurt my feelings that a 3-year-old has a legitimate question like that they don't know the answer to. 3-year-olds are still trying to sort out what is reality and what is, a Disney movie. They just are. And so the mom hushed the little boy, and I understand, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It really is. And so in a situation like that, I would much rather the mom come up and say, "I'm sorry that my little boy just said this. I know that's probably hurtful, but could you talk to him about your little boy and tell him why he looks different?" I absolutely love to do that. Love, 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 love when kids come up to me and want to ask questions. And there is no question too embarrassing. I have heard it all, and I have an answer for every single embarrassing question. And so, not everybody is as seasoned, I guess, in that respect as I am. But I think most people are going to appreciate that you've taken the time to come up to them and to be interested and want to learn and show kindness. Something that I struggle with when I see people with disabilities, my reaction is I just want to run up to them and hug them around the neck and say, "I love you." That's a little bit not socially acceptable, so I don't do that. So sometimes I struggle with what is appropriate. I don't want them to think that I'm talking to them just because they have a disability, but I don't want to ignore them either, because I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them because they have a disability. So if I get the opportunity to talk to somebody with a disability out in public, I do. And if the opportunity doesn't arise, I just don't, because like I said, I don't want to go overboard one way or the other. So I try to just if I get the opportunity to talk to anybody out in public, I try to, just make conversation and be friendly. So that's what I just try to do with somebody with a disability. And I generally don't even mention their disability unless they mention it first. So that's just, that's kind of how I handle it. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I wanted to encourage you, especially with your kids who say embarrassing things, please encourage them to talk about disabilities. Please encourage them to ask questions. How are they going to learn if we don't teach them? Please don't let your children learn how to treat kids with disabilities from other kids in their school, because that's the last place you want them to learn it. You want your kids to learn how to treat others from you, because you can be in control of teaching them that you should be kind to others, whether they have a disability or not. You shouldn't stare, you shouldn't point, those kinds of things. And it's still going to happen. They're still going to stare and they're still going to point because they're kids. But please don't let your children learn from the other 7-year-olds in their class that kid with autism is weird, and you're whispering, the kids get to whisper behind the little boy's back about his autism and things like that. Please don't let that be where your children learn how to treat others with disabilities. So that's all that I had to say for today. And if you guys are interested in this book, here it is one more time if it's something that you would like to read. Once I get done with it, I'll definitely tell you how it is. I've heard it's very, very good. And it is from Thomas Nelson Publishing if you want to look it up and try to buy it. I'm not sure where you can buy it yet, but I'm sure you can buy it online. What's the matter? Can you say bye to everybody? Can you say bye? Say bye. Okay, blow a kiss. Mwah. Mwah. That's the phone. All right. Thank you guys for listening today. Please let me know if you have any topics that you want me to discuss or talk about. And please let me know if there's anything that I can do to make this more fun and interactive for you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.